What is up, you guys? It's your guys, man. We're back again on the Cam and T podcast. I am your host, co-host Tony Teton West, man, and I got our other host here and the co-host of this podcast, my boy Cambo. Cambo, man, we got a fun show tonight, man. It's gonna be a good one. How was your Thanksgiving, first off, and how are you doing, brother?
Hey, I think I lost you for a second, but I'm good, bro. I'm everything good. I'm just excited for this show tonight. You know what I'm saying? Had a good time with my family over the weekend. So, how about yourself though, man? How you doing? How you doing?
Man, I'm good, bro. I had a really good Thanksgiving, man. Ate some really good food, bro. Just enjoyed the weekend, just spending time with my girl's family. But it was cool, man. I had a really good time this week, man. Really, that time between Thanksgiving and New Year's is always weird because you really just want to just coast through the rest of the year. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm just like, bro, I'm just really like wanting to coast. You know what I'm saying? Like I really
Right.
just want to chill out and just, but I can't because I still gotta go to work. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But yeah, man. I mean, that's kind of how things been. But I'm excited though about tonight's podcast, man. This should be a really good one, man. And it's gonna be a good show, man. We got a lot in store for y'all tonight, man. Obviously, we're gonna start off with the Carolina Panthers. We'll talk about them firing another coach. It's just we'll talk about it in a second, but it's a crap show going on in Carolina right now, and I think David Tepper is the main reason for that. Next up, man, I want to talk about. Hold on, okay. Next up, I want to talk about just college football as a whole. There's a lot going on right now. We got college conference championships this weekend, ACC, SEC, Big 10, Big 12, Pac 12, you name it all. Really starting Friday. It's just going to be a lot of commotion going on. We'll talk about that. Talk a little bit about some NFL rivalry, some college football rivalry games from last week. We'll talk about some of the stuff that's going on in the portal, coaches getting hired. I mean, Cam, it's a massacre right now. It's a lot going on, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's just a lot happening in the world of sports, especially in football right now with NFL and college. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a good show, brother. So y'all lock in, sit back, and relax, and me and Cam, we just gonna get at it, man. So Cam,
Yes, sir.
let's just jump right into it. Frank Reich, Carolina Panthers coach, fired after what 11 games, 1-10 on the season, and
Yep.
absolutely canned. I'm gonna let you go first. David Tepper pulls the trigger year one, not even full year one. How do you feel about it, bro? Like, how do you feel about this whole situation?
David Tepper. David Bald Head Tepper. Lex Luthor in real life. David Tepper. I got some words for you, buddy. It's all because of you. I'm feeling sad and blue. You bought my team. Now my life is filled with
Yo,
nasty dreams.
oh
Hey
man,
man, it's all because of you, bruh.
mm.
I hate you so. How much you'll never know. Like I'm telling you, bruh.
Yo,
This man, David Tepper, it's all because of you, bro. You trash, bro. Like everything that had happened these last couple years since you bought the team. 6 seasons, six losing seasons. Or yeah, 6 seasons that he's had the team, and all six we've had a losing record. And all six. Ain't even sniffed the playoffs. Been picking in the top 10, I believe, every single draft. I mean, he hired first and foremost, he hired uh what's my Matt Rule and
I'm still here. Go ahead.
didn't get rid of Marty Herney. Then he fired Marty Herney and brought in a GM who's potentially worse than him. You feel me? And then on top of all that, now he done brought in Frank Wright, who led us to a 1-10 record. And I mean this as no disrespect to Frank Wright, because I really don't, you know, I still kind of respect Frank Wright. I still think that he's, a good person. He seemed like he a solid dude, you know what I'm saying? No question. But man, he just could not coach at the end of the day. And he's just too old, I think, personally. I think it's time. He already came out and said that it's probably his last journey in the NFL. And that it's coming to an end for him, which I respect it, and I'm glad he getting to kind of go ahead and retire and everything. He gonna get that bag anyway. But
Yeah.
man, David Tepper has ruined this franchise, bro. And it's tough to say that. For me, it's kind of even hard to say that he ruined it because it was already kind of in a bad spot. I mean, we was never a great franchise.
Yeah.
We had 2 Super Bowl runs. That's pretty cool, but man, outside of that, man, we ain't had back-to-back winning seasons. That had 6 back-to-back losing seasons. Like, I mean, this franchise is just toast, man. I don't know how much longer Panthers fans can take it, bro.
I mean, we talked about this in the town hall today. Shout out to Sheena and Vashti.
Yeah,
Actually, we might try to get them on soon because I would like to hear their opinion as well about this whole situation.
yeah.
This is where I'm at with it. David Tepper is the worst sports owner in the NFL right now. And he might be the worst sports owner in all of sports. I'm just going to be straight up with you. I think he's up there with James Dolan. I think he's absolutely up there with where Snyder was. This dude is the worst owner in sports so far. In the last 6 years, you want to know who are the second worst franchise in all of sports? Not just the NFL, in all of sports. The Carolina Panthers are the second worst team in all of sports in the big four. This is baseball, this is NFL, this is NBA, and also as well the baseball and hockey.
Hockey.
The Carolina Panthers are the second worst program franchise since 2018, the year that David Tepper took over. They are the second worst. I want you to hear that again. They are not just in football, not just in football. They are the second worst winning franchise in all of sports. The big four. They are the second worst. There's only one team worse than them, and I believe, and I could be wrong, I want to say it was the Colorado Avalanches were the worst, which is a hockey team out in Colorado.
Well, they
I
won. Didn't
believe
they
that
win the
was.
maybe not. Maybe I'm tripping. I was about to say, didn't they win the chip not too long ago? But maybe didn't. Maybe they didn't.
Maybe they
But
did. I don't keep up with hockey like that, but I
yeah, I don't
think
either.
it might not be the Avalanche, but I believe that's who it
You
was.
might be right.
Yeah, I
But I can
believe
tell
that's who
you,
it was. I could be wrong. Once again, I could be
yeah,
wrong, but I
you
know
might be
for a
right.
fact I just seen a chart yesterday that said that they won 2 years ago. So maybe it wasn't the Avalanche. You know who it was, bro? I know who it was. It was the Anaheim Ducks. That's who it was.
Oh, okay.
They're I said the wrong team. Let me rewind this back. It was the Anaheim Ducks. I remember it's NHL still. That's why I don't follow NHL like that. I'll be honest. The Carolina Panthers are the second worst team, literally the second worst team in all of sports behind the Anaheim Ducks in the last 6 years.
And T, not to cut you off, but I want to interject too. I
Yeah,
will tell you this though about them Anaheim Ducks.
yeah,
They obviously done got better because since 2019, the Panthers are the worst
yeah,
in that win
yeah,
percentage. So it's not even so much as like you just said, we might have been the second worst since Tepper bought the team, but it's clearly that we getting worse and worse while every other franchise even is getting better. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
I mean, and that's really what it is. The Anaheim Ducks were the only team on that chart that were lower than the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers were the second lowest sports franchise in winning percentage in the last 6 years of any of the four major sports. That's a problem, man. That is an absolute problem when you are literally, quite honestly, you might be the second worst franchise in sports right now. It literally was the Anaheim Ducks and the Carolina Panthers right there. I'm just going to tell you the truth, bro. David Tepper is Dan Snyder 2.0. Whether you like it or not, you get up there, you see what he did at the press conference today. It was absolutely embarrassing. He got up there with no enthusiasm. He got up there and didn't say anything that would make us feel any better about our situation. He actually made me feel worse today. I feel worse as a Carolina Panther fan than I did yesterday when we fired Frank Wright. There is no hope for the Carolina Panthers. If I was Bryce Young, I would pull an Eli Manning. I know you can't do it because he's already been drafted. I would literally request a trade out now. I would
Yeah.
say, yo, I want out of here, bro. I'm not doing this. I want out. This franchise is an absolute mess, and I said it in the town hall earlier. I hate to say this, the Carolina Panthers are about to do a lot of losing for a lot of years. We are now officially the Cleveland Browns. We are now officially the Detroit Lions. We are now officially the New York Jets. This guy David Tepper got up here and said, "Hey, I brought Beyonce to y'all. I brought MLS soccer to y'all. How y'all talk to me, dude? We don't. I'm gonna be honest, Cam. I might be overstepping my boundaries here. I don't give a rat's ass about Beyonce being in Charlotte. That doesn't make me happy. I don't give a rat's ass about fuck. God, Lord, my parents on here. I'm trying to keep my cool. I don't give a rat's behind about Beyonce. I don't give a rat's behind about really Charlotte FC, honestly, to be honest. I like them because they're from Charlotte, but that's it. I don't care about that stuff. What I care about is winning with the Carolina Panthers. That's what I care about. That's what probably 95% of the fans care about. They don't care about you having Beyonce. They don't care about that. They don't care about MLS, honestly, like that. They want to see the Panthers win. That's what they want to see. We don't care about Beyonce, man. Like, no offense and no disrespect, Beyonce's the GOAT. We are. I don't care about that. Don't tell me I brought Kenny Chesney to y'all and Beyonce and what's the other guy? The other country singer he brought like Luke Combs. I don't care about that, David Tepper. That doesn't move me. Bring me a title. Hell,
Right.
give me the 7 and 10. Give me the 8 and 9. Literally, I'm not even asking for you to move mountains right now. Just show me progression. David Tepper is an absolute liability, and he is by far, to me, the worst sports owner over James Dolan. It used to be Snyder. Snyder's gone. I think now he is the worst owner in all of sports. I'm going to be honest. And I don't really think it's hard to really determine that at this point. David Tepper is the worst sports owner in the NFL, in the NBA, in the NHL, and in MLB. And I really don't think I don't even think it's a question at this point. I don't even think he would deny that. But I think David Tepper doesn't look at himself as a problem. That's just what it is. But I'm telling you now, as Panther fans, if you think David Tepper, Cam, I'm going to be honest. When they fired Frank Wright yesterday, I was happy, but I was like, you know what? This guy has screwed up on 2 hires. He's about to do a third one. He's about to do a third one in the last 3 years. So he's probably going to screw up again. This guy can't get out of his way, man. I'm done. It's over. It's over. The Carolina Panthers franchise, it's over. I mean, if David Tepper's going to be here, it's over. Matter of fact, bro, move the team at this point, bro. I wouldn't even be mad if you just say, hey, move. Because Charlotte's such a big, it's growing so fastly. Somebody else will bring in a team in 5 or 6 years. I'll wait. Move the team, David Tepper. We don't even want you in Charlotte anymore. You can bring Beyonce, Kenny, Chad, whoever. You can bring Chad Ochocinco. I don't care. You can bring DJ Academics out there and perform his podcast in front of everybody. I don't care, bro. I don't care about none of that. I want to see wins, bro. I want to see wins. Right. And that's it, man. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go on a rant like that, bro. I'm just tired of losing, bro.
No,
like, it's good. Just frustrating just knowing this team sucks. And they're going to suck for a while. You look at this team. Next year, the Panthers will suck again. It don't matter who we hire. We're going to suck next year. It's too many holes. We need at least 2 off seasons to get this thing right. It's over. It's Jover, bro. That's all I got to say about it. It's Jover.
Yeah, I mean, ain't nothing much else can be said, bro. I'm all burnt out on the freaking Panthers, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I could care less, bro. It don't even make no difference for me no more. Like you said, if they move the team for some reason, I mean, I already got me a new team anyway, so it don't matter to me. I mean, it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool on that. I just, once again, everything is David Tepper's fault, and he needs to keep that pressure on him. I hate that. You know, he really slimy, and and wild for what he did today in that press conference, because apparently he was passing up over, the people that he knew was gonna be at their head. You know what I'm saying? The people that he knew was gonna make that ball head sweat. You know what I'm saying? So so like I just hate that all that happened. You know, but ultimately he got to know at this point that he's the issue and that he's the problem.
Yeah.
And if he don't, then we're doomed
Yeah.
for
I think we're
decades to
doomed.
come.
I think we're
Decades
doomed.
to come.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I think we're doomed, regardless. I think this guy is. I think David Tepper is the worst sports owner in all of sports right now. I really do. I don't think there's really. I think James Dolan, you can make a case for with the Knicks, but even they're kind of like having success now. But to me,
Right.
it's James Dolan and Tepper, and then everybody else. Like at this point, I know a lot of people don't like the Orioles owners either. I know they're popular, like people don't like them a lot, but even the Orioles are now having success in baseball. I think David Tepper is the worst sports owner right now, and I don't really think it's close.
He
And I want
probably
to go back
is.
to what you said about the press conference today. It was an absolute clown show. They literally got up there and handpicked who they wanted to ask questions. He didn't let Scott Fowler, who was on his neck yesterday, he literally was standing in front of him and he said, I ain't next person. He didn't ask Sheena Quick because he knew she was going to be on his top.
Right.
He didn't ask Vashti Hurt because he knew she was going to be on his top.
Yeah.
David Tepper is a slime ball geezer. That's what he is,
Geezer.
bro. That's just what he is. And I don't care what anybody say about it. This dude is a douchebag, and I don't think we're going to succeed with him. And hopefully he can prove me wrong. Hopefully we can look back in 3 years from now, go back and look at this podcast and say, dang, Tony and Kent was so wrong about Tepper. He's really turned it around. That would make my life. But right
Right.
now, man, buckle up for the next 5 to 10 years to be horrible.
I
I'm
would
just
like to
telling you.
be I would like to be wrong, but it don't look like it's gonna happen.
No, no. I don't see it, man. But I mean, again, and I'll keep it quick, and then we're gonna start moving on to college football here in a second. Did Frank Wright deserve to be fired? Because a lot of people are talking about that. Yes, he did. I mean, this team was terrible, bro. They regressed from
Yeah.
when Matt Rule was here. I mean, they got worse. I actually miss
Yeah.
Matt Rule coaching. Like, I miss Matt Rule Panther teams. That's how bad it had gotten. Like, yeah, I mean, it's just being honest. Like, it's bad, bro. So yes, Frank Wright deserved to get fired. A lot of people keep saying, well, let me ask you, how attractive do you think the Carolina Panthers job is? Let me ask you that.
See, I don't know. Some people say it's well, okay, well, let me preface this by saying every single NFL job is attractive.
Thank you. There's
You know
only
what I'm saying?
32 of them.
Yeah, every single job is attractive. Don't get me wrong, but if all 32 jobs became available today, we would be 32 of 32.
Mm,
I mean, I can't name who would you say is probably least attractive, less attractive than this?
I mean, yeah,
Because
we're up there.
you know what I'm saying?
We're
I
up
mean,
there.
you got to think
Sure.
about a lot of things. So number one, you got to think about history, right?
Yeah.
Everybody gonna want that Steelers job.
Yep.
Everybody gonna want that Patriots job. You know what I'm
Cowboys.
saying? Cowboys.
Yep.
Those jobs always gonna be attractive. Then you got to think about who's on the roster right now. We got a couple pieces, you know what I'm saying? We
Yep.
got a couple of guys, but maybe that makes us, 30th or something like that.
Yeah.
Then you got to think about location and how easy it is to get other players here. We
Yeah.
ain't hit on I think the best free agent, to be completely honest with you, that we've ever signed, in my humble opinion. Trying to think, bro. For me, it's probably Stephon Gilmore. Would you agree? I mean, think about it. Think
I
about
can't
all the
even think. I can't really even think of nobody on top. I mean, Greg Holson wasn't a free agent. We got him through a trade. So I
right,
would say Greg, but
right.
he's not a free agent.
But
So
who,
yeah, I mean, it really might be. Yeah,
you know what I'm
I mean,
saying?
it really
Who
might be.
actually no, Stephon Gilmore was a trade too. He wasn't even a free agent. I
Yeah,
forgot about that.
Gilmore was a trade, right?
That's right. Okay,
So
T they revealed the top 25. If you
okay,
want to
yeah, I'm looking at it now.
okay.
we can go ahead and finish this up, and then we're gonna jump into college football. For somebody said Frankie Louvu. Brad said Frankie Louvu. He slick might be
He
right.
slick might be the
I
best
would even say
one.
Louvu, maybe Stephen Davis too. Somebody in the comments said Stephen Davis, and that's a valid point.
Maybe
Stephen Davis,
so, but
yeah, but still not a lot of people.
but still, that's what I'm saying. You got to think about how easy is it for the Carolina Panthers to get free agents,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah.
not. So for me, and then not to mention, we ain't got a first round pick. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So it's attractive job. I mean, people are gonna interview for it. People are gonna want the job, but the cream of the crop going somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Most likely.
Yeah.
Most likely. You might be able to get lucky. But think about it. The Chargers job gonna become available this
I was
offseason.
just about to bring that up. I was just about to say,
Go
I
ahead.
think I think the LA Charger job is the most attractive job in the NFL. And I don't really know how close it is,
No
honestly.
question. No, it's not close. No,
Yeah,
it's not
because
close.
and I'm gonna tell you why the LA Chargers job is so attractive. For one, Justin Herbert is already signed. You have a top 6 quarterback. I don't think nobody would argue that. You have a top 7 to 8 quarterback already locked in, right? Eckler is not great, but he'll get the job done. He's a good running back. You have really two really good wide receivers in Mike Williams and also as well Keenan Allen. And for some reason, Keenan Allen turned the clock back and he looks elite again. Um, you got Gerald Everett, not the greatest tight end, but you can upgrade at tight end. Their O line, very good. You already got your left tackle in the future and Rashawn Slater, so you don't have to worry about that. Um, D line and outside linebackers because they do the whole stand up linebacker thing. You got Khalil Mack. He's a little bit on the older side. You got Bosa as well. Linebacking core, pretty decent as well. Secondary, you got possibly the best safety in the game, and you got a really good corner in Asante Samuels. And on top of that, you're in freaking LA. Like, bro, it don't like, bro. To me, bro, the Chargers job is by far like the best job, bro. Like, to me, it's not even a question, honestly.
No, yeah, no,
And the talent is there. Like,
I, I think, in my opinion, so these are the jobs that I think are going to become available at the end of the season.
yeah,
So L.A., Carolina, Vegas
Raiders.
is going to be there. You said Bears,
No, Bears and Raiders.
yeah, Bears. I think those four are going to be available. Trying to think who else is. I think the Patriots going to be available.
Patriots, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Um, and really, them probably the only five I can think of right now.
Adam Schefter said like 7 to 10 teams might be available. I,
And
I
see that.
I'm gonna be honest. I think if Dallas gets
Oh,
to the championship, I mean, if Dallas gets to AC, I mean, if Dallas gets to the wild card and they fall on their face, I could see them firing.
they might get him. They might get rid of him, but I have a feeling if they get rid of him, they're gonna promote Dan Quinn.
Yeah, they could. Washington, the Commanders.
Yeah, I was about
That's
to say
another one that's
the
definitely
Commanders
probably
probably
coming
another
open.
one.
Yeah,
That's 6. Um, but out of all them jobs, I would say the only to me Carolina got to be last, bro. In
last.
terms of attractiveness, it's got to be. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, we got Bryce Young, but let's be completely
I think
honest.
it's between them and Washington for
Yeah,
last.
out
Yeah.
of the teams that we just named, we have the worst situation,
Situation. Yeah.
even including quarterback. I would say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Except for probably Sam Howell. You know what I'm saying? I think, well, even then, he's still been playing solid this year. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just think, obviously homerism and stuff is a thing. People overrate Carolina always.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it don't matter. At the end of the day, it's an NFL job. You're gonna get an
Yeah.
interview, you're gonna get somebody. But David Tepper has to get the hire correct. That's
Yeah.
pretty much the
That's
main
the
thing.
that's the main thing. I
That's the
agree,
main
man.
thing.
That's pretty much it on that subject. I'm tired of talking about the Panthers because they make me want to throw up every time I hear about them. Because they just so trash. So
Yeah.
let's move on to college football. So they actually are dropping the top 25s right now as we're actually watching. We're waiting on the top 6. And we're trying to see. Well, so Texas, I thought, okay, so they're doing the top 6 now. I don't know if your TV is ahead of mine. So at 6 is Ohio State right
Yeah.
now. So Ohio State is at 6. I'm guessing at 5 would
They
be,
moving quick today.
yeah, they are moving quick today. So at 5, who do you think is gonna pop up at 5? Florida State
Uh,
or
Oregon.
so Oregon might be at 5. Yeah, Oregon. Yeah, they should be at 5 because they can play their way into the playoffs on Friday, which we're about to talk
Mm-hmm.
about. That's pretty much a semifinal playoff game, pretty much.
Yep.
Um,
It's either gonna be Oregon or yeah, it's probably gonna be Oregon.
yeah, it's probably going to be Oregon here. We're still waiting, but I'm pretty sure at 5 it's going to be Oregon. At 4 it's going to be yep, and there it goes. 5 is Oregon. So pretty much
Yep.
the rest should shake itself out. At 4 probably will be Florida State. At 3 will probably be Washington. At 2 will be Michigan, and then at 1 should probably be Georgia.
Georgia. Yeah.
So that's looks like probably how it's going to play out. We'll let you know if anything changes on that. But that's pretty much how that's going to play out. So let's start kind of transitioning over to college football talk, and we probably gonna be on the college football talk probably for the majority of the rest of the time here because it's just a lot going on right now. I want to see these rankings that's coming out too here as well, so I'm trying to keep an eye on that as well to make sure I'm not missing anything. But and yeah, there goes Florida State. So Florida State's at 4, so it's gonna pan out pretty much how me and you just said it's gonna pan out. So let's go ahead and talk about I'm gonna go over the top 10 actually. So at 10, we have Penn State. At 9, we have Missouri. At 8, we have Alabama. At 7, we have Texas. So nothing really changed there, but Penn State came up because Louisville lost. Then at 6, you have Ohio State. At 5, you have Oregon. At 4, you have Florida State. At 3, I'm guessing it's about to be Washington. At 2, and it is. At 2, you have Michigan. And at 1, you have Georgia. Pretty solid top 10. Clemson actually ranked in the top 25 again this week at 23. We'll talk about them in a minute. And NC State, I talked about them last week. They had 19. So they slowly climbing up there too. So we'll talk about that a little bit as well. So Cam, let's talk about this whole college football playoff scenario. And this is going to kind of work into this weekend in the games. I'm gonna ask you 2 questions here, and I want you to answer this to me.
Okay. Never mind.
Yeah, it's
I don't
Michigan.
know.
It's Michigan. So let me ask you a question real quick, Cam. Let me ask you 2 questions. Who do you think are the 4 best teams in college football right now, and who do you think are the 4 most deserving teams? Let me ask you that.
So the 4 best would be, I would say Georgia. The 4 best teams, truly.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna go Georgia, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say Washington,
Okay.
and I'm gonna go. Man, I'm gonna go Oregon.
Okay.
Those would be my. Man, you know what? I don't know, bro. I don't know because truth be told, the issue is I want to slick. I slick want to put Alabama in there, and that's my problem. That's my problem. I want to put Alabama in there. I think they probably one of the best. I probably go Georgia, Michigan. It's probably truth be told Alabama, and then I would probably say probably Washington since they did beat Oregon earlier this year. And
Mm-hmm.
then my top 4, my college football playoff, deserving teams would be the teams that are in there right now
Yep.
currently.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That that
that would be
so that's
that would
my
be my
same one
deserving
too.
team.
So for me, for the most deserving, it's the 4 they got in there. The
Yeah,
4 they got in there right now is the most deserving. I think if Florida State played in the playoff game in a couple weeks, they're getting blasted off the field. I mean,
blued
it's
out.
not going to be close. They struggled with a bad Florida team. They would get blasted off the field against a good team. Let's be honest. I think even a Florida State fan would admit we would just be happy to be in the playoffs, but we're never going to get blown out.
Right.
Let's be real. Florida State's not survived in the playoffs against Georgia. I would honestly put Georgia as like a 17-point favorite. I would be that. I would go that deep in the bag with it. I think Georgia would actually annihilate them. But my top 4. And I'm gonna say this: this is my top 4 teams, not my top 4, which I think these are the top 4 teams I think are the best 4 teams, not the most deserving. These are the top 4 teams that I think are the best. I think Georgia's the best team in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready for this next one? I think Oregon is the second best team in the country.
Mm.
I think Oregon is the second best team in the country. I think Michigan's number 3, and I think Bama's number 4.
Okay.
I think those are the 4 best teams in the country. Here's why. Georgia has absolutely dominated every team they play. Now they did struggle against Georgia Tech, but that's a rivalry game. I'll cut them a little bit of slack, but they did win that game, so I'll give them that. Oregon, I don't know if you watched Oregon. Since that Washington game, they have absolutely demolished every single team in their way. It has not even been close with no team they've played. Michigan, let's talk about them. Michigan, I think they are a very good team. They proved it again. And I'm going to be honest with you, Ohio State fans, Michigan's just better than you now. At first,
Yeah.
I just thought, oh, okay. Yeah. No, they're just a better team. They don't whoop your butts 3 years in a row now. This has now became a pattern. This is not just a one-off.
They better coached, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
they're Michigan's a better team than Ohio State now. I hate to tell y'all that. I know Ohio State faithful are going to hate to hear this. Michigan's just better than you now. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that happens, and it has happened. They're better than you now. They should be favored than you now. And then I think at 4, I think Bama, because I'm not even gonna really look at that Auburn game because it's always some weird stuff every time they play down there in that Iron Bowl in Auburn. It's always weird. But besides that, Alabama has been dominant. And we're gonna see it this weekend up against Georgia, which we're about to talk about in a few seconds. I'm telling you now, I think that would be my top 4. My top
So
4
let me let
would be those.
let me ask you. So why do you have Oregon in there but not Washington? And Washington beat them. I know you said Oregon been blowing folks out, and I know Washington. I know this weekend wasn't their best performance, and I think
Washington has struggled for the last 3 or 4 weeks.
yeah, I'm about to say I think the weekend before that they struggled a little bit too.
Yeah,
But
they
still,
struggled for the last month, really.
though,
But I'm gonna
you
tell
know,
you
I
why I'm taking Oregon over Washington. You want to know why? I think Oregon beats Washington on Friday night.
this weekend.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think they beat Washington on Friday night. That's why.
Well, I thought so too. I think so as well. I mean, no, I think now let me ask you this though. So well, we can get into it after we talk about all the conference championship games. But I agree. I would take. I think Oregon is rolling. I think they
Yeah,
hot, just like you said. Um, I think Washington then kind of stumbled up a little bit. Don't get me wrong. They're still a very good football team. And they beat Oregon once, so there's no reason why they shouldn't be able to do it again.
yeah,
But like you said, Oregon, Bo Nixon and boys, they own fire.
they on
You know what I'm
fire
saying?
right now, bro.
So it's tough. I think they do get a win this weekend, and then yeah, how you feel about the Pac-12 championship? You say you
So
got Oregon,
let's
right?
just jump right into it. So the Pac-12 championship is on Friday at 8 o'clock. Gonna be one of the better games this weekend. Down there in Las Vegas. I think I wish the 12-team playoff was this year. Like I really do, because I think both of these teams, regardless of the result on Friday, deserve to be in. I really
I
do.
do too.
Both of
I do
these
too.
teams are tremendous. Oregon is a 9-point favorite, right? 9.5-point favorite. So Vegas thinks what we think. Oregon's hot right now, and they possibly have the Heisman winner and Bo Nix on their team. Um, in my personal opinion, I think Oregon wins this game. I don't know how close it is, bro. I'm going to be honest. I could see Oregon winning this game like 31-21, 31-14. Like I could see that happening. I'm not going to lie. Oregon is that hot right now. They're playing that well on both sides of the ball. I could really see them doing that to them, bro. Like straight up. I could see them just coming in, dominating, and pushing them guys around and getting a lick back. I could see that happening. So for me, I think Oregon wins this game by like 7+ points.
Mm.
Honestly.
I well again, like I said, I take Oregon as well. Um, I probably go. I think it's gonna be a close one again because, like I said, they played each other before. There's familiarity there.
Yeah.
Um, but then again, that could lead to Oregon just straight up smoking them boys though,
Yeah.
since they are so hot and they already know what not to do against Washington. You know what I'm saying? Or do they know what to do and what not to do? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, so yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. I'll take that. I'll take that. Oregon over 7. I take that. Or what you said, 9.5?
Yeah, 9.5. Yep.
Yeah, I might take that. Well, I ain't gonna bet no money on it, but
Yeah.
but I'm with it though. I get it.
Okay.
Mm,
So let's go ahead and move over to the second biggest game of the weekend down here in
okay.
Atlanta. Alabama versus Georgia. Let's talk about it. Georgia is a 6-point favorite right now, and Alabama's coming off that crazy win down there in the plains in Auburn, and really a game they should have lost. Let's just keep it real.
Yeah,
If DJ James turns around a little quicker, and if they had a little bit more coverage over there, they lose that game, and they're not. This game doesn't even matter on
yeah.
Saturday. But it does now. This is my thing with Georgia, and they kind of did it the other night ago with the Georgia Tech Wild Yellow Jackets. Georgia struggles with scrambling quarterbacks, bro.
Mm,
They struggle with quarterbacks that can move and that can run. It kind of reminds me of those Bama teams in like 2017, like when they played Deshaun, and in 16, like those quarterbacks that can move around, they tend to give Georgia problems. Now, last weekend, Haynes King for Georgia Tech, he only had 10 carries for 24 yards, but he had 2 touchdowns. And then their running back, Jamal Haynes, had 15 carries for 81 yards. So he was averaging like 5 yards a carry on Georgia. Now, if Georgia has trouble with stopping the run, and we see how electric Jalen Milroe can be, and this Georgia defense is not as good as it has been, I don't know, man. I don't know. If they can't stop Jalen Milroe, they might get popped, bro. I'm not gonna lie. If they cannot stop Jalen Milroe, it might be Jover.
yeah.
I'm being
You
straight up, bro.
said they might get popped, bro.
They might get popped, bro. It's been 2, 3 years since they done lost.
Yeah,
You
it
feel
has.
me? I think if they cannot contain Jalen Milroe, you should have Jalen Milroe in a spot all night.
Yeah, I was about to say that's what it seemed like
All
they're gonna have to
night.
do.
I would say, look, middle linebacker, whoever, you go wherever Jalen Milroe. If Jalen Milroe goes and piss at halftime, you go with him. Like seriously, that's what it would
You
be for me.
you grab the urinal right next to him.
Seriously, like that's really what it should be. Because Jalen Milroe has now improved with the running, and now he's even improved with the passing. At this point, I don't know, man. I don't know if Georgia wins this game, bro. I'm really contemplating pulling the trigger and taking Bama in this game. I'm not gonna hold you. It's just something's telling me Bama's gonna win this game, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I got Bama winning this game, bro. I'm just gonna go ahead and pull the trigger. Bama
Mm.
is beating Georgia this weekend. Georgia's winning streak is Jover. It's 31-28 Bama. I'm rolling with it. I'm just gonna go ahead and roll with it. I got Georgia. I got Bama winning this game, bro. Straight up in Atlanta.
Shit. Uh I'll be honest with you. This gonna sound so crazy for me to say, bro. But I actually want to see Alabama win this game, bro.
Slick. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
want to see.
Slick.
Actually, it's not even so much. I want to see Alabama. I just want to see Jalen Milroe
Jalen
ball out
Milroe.
some
Yeah.
more, bro. You know what I'm
I like
saying?
him, man. I like him. I was
Me
tough on
too.
him at first, but he's really grown on me.
I don't like how they put my boy on the bench early in the season
Yep.
and they struggled. What it was 17-10 was the final score of that game. It was it Ty Simpson and Tyler Buckner?
Buckner, yeah, something
Yeah,
like that.
something.
Yeah.
Them boys stunk up the joint. Stunk it up. And now
But
Milroe done
since then, though, Milroe been balling since he got
put
benched.
himself back in the Heisman conversation. You know what I'm saying? He probably gonna he'll get a let's see
He'll get a
who.
receiving vote. He
Yeah, I'm
won't
about to
win
say
it,
he'll
of
get a
course,
revote.
but
No, he ain't gonna win. He'll get a vote. You know, he ain't
he'll
gonna get
come
no
in about
invite either,
fifth or
but he'll probably
sixth,
finish
maybe.
fourth. He'll probably
Yeah,
finish
something
somewhere
like
around
that.
there.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just want to see him ball out and see what he can do against Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Just to prove the doubters wrong. So that's what I want to see.
Yeah.
Now do I think it happens? I don't know because Georgia been raw these last couple of years.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna take Georgia just
Yeah.
because it's safer to me. I do think it's gonna be close, like you said, 31-28 ish sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, And I would probably put, I would probably go with that. I'll probably put them there.
And
And
let me say
then
something too about Georgia because I feel like Carson Beck is not getting enough credit, bro. Carson Beck is a really good quarterback, bro. Like I
uh-huh.
think Carson Beck is better than Stetson Bennett.
Uh-huh.
Like I truly do. Like this guy is really good. He's extremely accurate, and I just feel like he doesn't get enough credit nationwide. Like he just doesn't. Everybody just think, oh, he plays on Georgia, so of course he's amazing. No, like bro, this dude is very accurate. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. I mean, really on the season, even he has pretty much 3,500 yards. He's 5 yards away from 3,500. 22 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. His QBR is sixth in the country, 85.4. So again, bro, I think people are not really respecting. He has a 73%. He has a 73 completion percentage, bro. But I think a lot of people are not really recognizing how good this cat is. He's good, man. Like
Yeah, I've
Carson
seen
Beck.
people say that he's actually an NFL talent, is what I've seen
Yeah,
people say.
yeah. No, no, bro,
So
not gonna lie. He shouldn't come out this year because this quarterback class is too like crowded. But I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at all if next year he comes out and he's the number one pick. It would not really surprise me. It wouldn't.
mm.
Not saying it's going to happen, but it would not surprise me. I think
He-
Carson Beck doesn't get as near enough credit as he should, in my
he'll
opinion.
probably be the way I looked at it, because I was talking earlier, I was talking to myself earlier, but I was like, he'll probably be the first Georgia quarterback in the NFL since Stafford.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and
I agree.
I'm no disrespect to like Stetson Bennett, but I mean like legitimate
Yeah,
playing football, you know what I'm saying, in the
yeah,
NFL since Stafford. He probably gonna be the main one, you know what I'm saying? Or the next one, I should say.
yeah,
Um so yeah, I absolutely agree with that, man. For
yeah.
sure.
Let's move on over and with these other championship games, I'm gonna be honest, they're not as big as deals as those two we just talked about. So I'm gonna keep this quick. Oklahoma State and Texas play at 12 o'clock on Saturday. So they're their first game on Saturday. I have Texas winning that game. And I mean, even with them, they might have a chance to get in. Now, it
Yeah.
would have been better if Oklahoma was here because if they could
Yeah.
have beat Oklahoma, they would have avenged their only loss that they
And
had.
now you in
So
there.
I know exactly. So I know Texas fans are actually sick that Oklahoma didn't make it here because if they did, they would have a very good case to get in that top four. But I think
Hmm.
Texas is going to need a lot of help to get in. I don't think they get in because they need so much help, but I do think Texas wins this game. What you think?
Yeah, I got Texas. To be honest, and I think they're another team that's kind of like you said earlier. This would have been a perfect year to go to that 12 teams, and we've
Yeah,
been
it
saying
was.
this like for the last 3 or 4 weeks. This would have been the perfect year to go to 12 teams. I just think Texas is a really solid football team. You said it early in the season. You called them a good team early in the season.
Yep.
They're here. You know what I'm saying? They
That
made
was
it
in the
to the dance.
preseason, brother. That was in the
Yeah, that's what
preseason.
I'm saying. That was a
I had
preseason. Yeah,
Texas in the preseason. I said, bro, Texas, don't be surprised if these team makes the
yeah.
playoffs. They right on the outside looking in.
They looking good, man. So I like Texas. I would like to put them. If it was up to me, I would consider, if they win the conference, I would consider them as the four. It just, they're gonna need some help, obviously. But yeah, I think Texas wins this game. I don't know how close it would be. I don't think it'd be too close, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I
But
don't
I
think
don't think it's gonna be a blowout either.
Oklahoma State really should have lost the last two games they played.
Right.
They came back. They were down last week, like 24 to like 10, and they came back and won. And then this week, it was pretty much the same thing. They were down like
Yeah.
24-10 again in the fourth quarter and came back and won.
Yeah.
So we're
I
just a
think they
few
went.
plays away from Oklahoma, Texas again.
They will. Oh, shoot. They will by a touchdown or two.
Yeah. Next up again, Michigan, Iowa. I don't think nobody thinks this game is going to be close. Iowa, what's crazy is they have one of the worst offenses in the country, and they have 10 wins, which I don't know if that's a testament to how good their defense is. But I think we all kind of realize Michigan's going to blow these guys out, right? They're like a 23-point favorite. I think Michigan blows these guys out, probably more than that, honestly.
Just like the last 6 Big Ten championship games, we already know what's about to happen.
Yeah,
So, I
yeah,
mean, yeah, we can just move on. It
yeah.
should be a blowout.
And then
Iowa, good. good job to even making this far, but this is it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's
that's it.
the end.
And
This is
then
the end.
Louisville, Florida State last. A week ago, I would have had Louisville winning this game. I think Florida State wins this game, and I think they find themselves in the playoffs. I hate to say it. I don't really want Florida State to go because I feel like they're taking a spot from a team that is better than them. Honestly. Like I
Mm.
hate that. I know that sounds wrong. And as much as I hate Florida State, if they win on Saturday, they should absolutely be in the playoffs. Do I think they're going to get blowed out as soon as they get there? Of course. They're going to get torched. If they got Georgia week 1, they're getting tossed around.
Blew it
I mean,
out.
it's just what it is.
Blew it
They're
out
going to
and
get
blew
blowed
it
out
out.
by 15 plus points. But you can't have a Power 5 champion that's undefeated that did their job and be sitting on the outside looking in. So I think
Right.
Florida State does win this game, but are they one of the best 4 teams in the country? They're not. That's just the truth. Without Jordan Travis, they're not.
Yeah, I agree. Pretty much same thing you said. I would, it sucks that Travis got hurt.
Yeah,
I wish him a speedy recovery. He'll be, he'll make it to the NFL or whatever. Um, but for Florida State's chances this year, he was really all they had, and with him going down like that, I mean, it was a tall task regardless.
yeah,
But with him going down like that, he kind of doomed them.
yeah,
I don't know what happens this weekend against Louisville.
yeah,
Um, truth be told, but I think, like you said, they're undefeated. Put them in.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I pretty much agree. Like I said, they'll get in the playoffs, they'll get dismantled, but I mean, you can't leave a Power 5. You can't say winning your conference is important and then not let them in. That's just
Right,
you
and
can't.
and
You
and you
know, as
can't
much as I
use the
don't like
injury.
Florida State, if they go undefeated, they should absolutely be in.
Yeah, you can't use the injury as an excuse either
Yeah,
because
you can't. Yeah,
we
no,
seen a team in the very first year of the college football playoff go down. They first string and they backup
and
quarterback
back up.
and
Yep.
won that thing with their third string. So we can't leave somebody out because of injury. And they was slick for how they tried to slide them boys down last week. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? They was slick for that, but it's all good though. They made their way back in there. So
yeah.
yeah.
Let's talk a few. Let's talk about the rivalry games last week, and you know what I want to
Actually,
talk.
hold on.
Yeah,
I meant to ask you this earlier. My bad.
yeah.
I ain't mean to. My bad.
No, you can go
I
ahead.
meant to ask you this earlier. So while we talking about the college football playoff, while we sitting here talking about it, um, let's talk about some scenarios. Okay.
Okay. Yep. Go ahead.
Oregon beats Washington.
Okay. Oregon beats Washington. Okay.
Georgia wins.
Okay.
Michigan wins.
Okay.
Let's say Florida State loses.
Okay.
Or better yet, no. Let me rearrange that.
Okay.
Oregon beats Washington.
Okay.
Alabama beats Georgia.
Okay.
Michigan wins. Florida
Okay.
State wins. Who's in?
Whoo. Okay. So for me, if that happens, and you say Florida State wins, right?
Yep.
They're in.
Michigan, Florida State, both of them win.
Florida State's in because they'll be undefeated. I think they're in. Do that once again? I'm gonna say this again. Do they deserve to be in? Yes. Are they one of the best 4 teams? No. It's just what it is. But they will be in. So Florida State will be in. Michigan will be in. So it'll probably be Michigan number 1, Florida State number. No, actually it'll be Michigan number 1, Florida State number 2, and then Oregon number 3. I think.
Okay.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I think Georgia's out, bro. I think
So I'm
Georgia's out.
saying, yeah.
I think Georgia's out. If they lose to Bama, I think they're done. Because normally it would work out for them because the teams right behind them wouldn't be as good. Like there's
Mm-hmm.
normally not a Texas in the way. There's normally not
Mm-hmm.
an Oregon and Washington in the way. There's
Mm-hmm.
normally not none of that in the way. In normal years.
Yep.
But this year there is.
Mm-hmm.
If Georgia loses this game on Saturday, they should be done. They should be done, and Bama should be at 4. That's just my opinion. So it'll be 1, Michigan, 2, Florida State, 3, Oregon, 4, Bama. That's where I would do with it.
So okay. Okay, I feel that. Now So the reason why I asked that is because for me, I would just, if I was Washington, I would just feel some type of way that you
Mhm.
put a team in
Yep.
that, well, don't, well, then again, you need to win your conference, in
Yep.
my opinion. But at the same time, it's like, man, we beat these guys earlier in the year, though. You know what I mean?
Yep.
How can you leave us out? And that was our only loss, but we already beat them boys before.
Yeah.
So we've shown,
Exactly.
what I'm saying? So we've
Yep.
shown that we can beat them.
Yep.
Like, why? So why are we getting punished for
You know what's going to hurt Washington in your scenario you're talking about now? Because they haven't annihilated the teams they just played.
the last
That's
couple
what's going
weeks?
to hurt them. That
Right.
they've barely survived the last month. If they would have been clean and slate on these teams, Washington State, all these teams they should have been clean and slate on, they would have been fine. But the fact that they have literally struggled with almost every single team they played in the last month is what's going to hurt them. Because I think your point is very valid. If they've already beat Washington, right? And then let's
Yeah.
say they go in a barn burner game like we seen in Seattle, and they lose to Washington, they lose to Oregon 31-32 or something like that. That's going to be tough to put them out. So it's a very valid point. But
That's
what's
what I'm
going to
saying.
screw them up is that they didn't blow out those other teams that they were just playing. They're going to say
Okay.
Washington has struggled too much, and we're going to go ahead and kick them out. That's what I think is going to happen.
So
In
another
my
question for you.
Yep.
All right. Now, I agree with you, but what is the committee going to do about this? So Texas wins. All right. So Michigan wins.
Yep.
Florida State wins.
Mm-hmm. Those two are
Washington.
in automatically.
Let's say Washington takes care of business and they
They are
win.
in. Yep.
Alabama beats Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
but Texas wins their championship too. So why is it? How do you see what I'm saying? How do you
Yep.
leapfrog? Now, don't get me wrong. I agree with you. They probably should leapfrog. I think your
Yep.
SEC championship should be in there.
Yep.
But will the committee agree with that? Because they already put Alabama behind Texas.
And I'm
So
gonna
how is it?
tell
You see
and
what I'm
I'm gonna
saying?
tell
How is
you
it fair?
I'm gonna tell you how it's about to be fair. Well, actually, it's not fair. Let me
Right.
just go ahead and say that it's not fair. But what's gonna happen is what they're gonna look at is Alabama just beat the number one team in the country. Who have you beat Texas? That's exactly what they're gonna say.
But
They're
they
gonna
beat
say
Alabama.
Oklahoma State's not moving me. That's what they're gonna say. They're
But
gonna
they
say
beat
Oklahoma
Alabama.
State's not moving me. They're gonna say all these other teams y'all play in the Big 12, they're not moving me. And that's what's gonna suck for them. Somebody's gonna be on the outside looking into this playoffs weekend. Somebody's gonna be on the outside looking in on the playoffs this weekend, and they're gonna be pissed. And they
should
should
have made it. Yeah.
like, I
That's
mean,
what
it's
I'm
gonna
saying.
be
But
TCU. It's gonna be TCU 2014 all over again this weekend for some fan base. I'm not gonna lie, it is. It's gonna be TCU 2014 or UCF a couple years ago. It's gonna be that all over again, bro.
yeah.
That's what's gonna happen this weekend to some fan base, unfortunately.
But that's why I asked that though, because Texas already beat Alabama.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't, if you the committee, you can't just go to them and say, well, Alabama just beat the number one team in the country.
Yep.
Who did you beat? And
But
Texas gonna be
that's
like,
what's
well,
gonna
shit,
happen.
we beat them. You know what I'm saying?
But that unfortunately, bro, that's what's gonna happen.
That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
That's
what
what
I
I'm
think
saying.
is going to happen.
And I agree with
committee ain't leaving out no SEC team, bro.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
They're not doing that.
And personally, I think that's the issue because, and don't get me wrong, this year is a great year for one of them two teams to make it because they are, in my opinion, two of the four best teams.
Yep, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
You know who's messing this whole thing up? I hate to be like this. Florida State. They're in the way.
Yeah.
Florida State is messing
in the way.
If Florida State would just lose this weekend, not trying to be rude, it would help everything.
The committee wants them to lose.
Yes, and
the committee wants them to lose. That's why they put them down at 5.
Florida State is by far the worst team in this whole scenario. They're the worst team in this whole scenario. Even Texas, Alabama, they're the worst. Oregon, Washington, they are the worst team in this scenario.
Yes.
The committee is praying to God Louisville wins this weekend.
This is what the committee
alleviate all of this.
This is what the committee wants to do. The committee wants to put Florida State. Now I don't know what bowls are in the college football playoff, but the committee wants to put Florida State and Ohio State in the Orange Bowl
Yeah.
as out on the outside looking in, and they want to deal with the other teams. That's
Yeah.
what they want to do. They
Mhm.
won't. They want either Georgia or Alabama. They want Michigan.
Yeah.
Michigan's in no matter. I think Michigan has the. They don't even have to lose. They can lose this weekend. In my opinion, I think
I still
Michigan
think they're
probably
getting
still
in.
in.
Yeah.
They
I
probably
agree.
still in. I think a team they want Washington. I think they want Washington and Oregon in there.
I'm not mad at it. I've been saying it all year. The Pac-12 is the best conference.
It's
I'm not
loaded.
mad at it, bro. I'm
It's
not mad
loaded.
at it.
That's why I'm saying, like, what do you do when you have all these teams sitting here? I mean, you got 8 teams that's fighting for the same position. And Ohio State, and the funny thing is, we saying all this, but Ohio State still sitting at
Still in
6.
the mix too.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Because their only loss is to Michigan. So
Exactly. And if
they even got an
Michigan
argument.
loses,
And in their schedule, it's harder than Michigan's.
right?
So again, I mean, even Ohio State, we're not talking about them, and they probably won't make it. But
No,
I mean, even they can have an argument in this thing. They're
the
ranked
only
above Texas and also as well Bama.
the only way that I can see, so you what you need is, yeah, well, Ohio State is pretty much done,
Yeah,
but
they're done. Yeah,
basically,
they're done. Yeah.
what the real issue is like the biggest shakeup would be if Georgia loses,
Yeah.
if Washington loses,
Yeah.
and if Florida State loses. Now you got to find
Yeah.
a whole new, basically 3 teams, because I think, like it's like we already said, Michigan's in there no matter what, most
Yeah.
likely. So now you got to find a whole 3 teams that you got to put in there. It's got to be Alabama. It's got to be Oregon. It's got to be Texas,
Yeah.
Ohio State. You know what I'm saying? Is it Georgia still in there? Is Washington still in the mix? Now
Yeah.
you got to think about all of that. So, but ultimately, I mean, truth be told, I think it's just gonna play out how it is right now
Yeah.
anyway. So it
It
don't even
is.
matter. But
So let me
um,
ask you one more question, and we're gonna move on to rivalry week just real quickly.
okay,
Let's say everything works out as it should. Let's say Florida State wins. Okay, let's say Georgia wins, Michigan wins, Florida State wins, and Washington win. Everything just stays the same, right? We all kind of agree on that. Everybody that's in now is going to be in next week. We all agree on that, right?
most likely, the only thing I can see potentially shaking that thing up is if Florida State loses,
Yeah.
or excuse me, if Florida State
The
wins a
committee
close
wants
one.
Florida State to lose bad.
If
Florida State
Florida
losing
State
would be great for everything.
if Florida State wins a close one and Texas wins a big one,
They might.
then they might shake it up.
Yeah.
They might shake it up because we're looking at uh who's ranked
And
at
it would
who's
be
ranked at
even crazier if Oklahoma was the team that Texas beat and
exactly.
they avenged their only loss.
Now
That
you
would
got
be crazier.
because now you almost got a question: is you gonna put Florida in or are you gonna put Texas in?
Texas. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why the way that it's going, like you said though, the only way that this top 4 right here don't make it in, outside of everybody losing or whatever, but the only way that this top 4 don't make it in is if Florida State wins a close one and Texas wins a blowout. Like if I'm talking, they absolutely dog walk Oklahoma State. This is your final interview to get into the playoff.
Yeah.
You go out there and beat Oklahoma State 66-3,
Mm-hmm.
and Florida State beats Louisville 14 to 13.
Yeah.
I don't know how I can leave Texas out, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I can leave Texas out. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be intriguing, man. I'm excited. I can't wait for this weekend.
Right.
We're gonna have a lot to talk about when we come back on Monday.
Right,
On
bro.
Tuesday and next week, because it's gonna be a lot. I do want to touch on some coaching changes and some transfer portal stuff real quickly. And I want to talk about rivalry real quickly now. Clemson, we get our lick back, man. We get back 16-7. Wasn't a beautiful game. It was ugly. Both offense absolutely stunk. Clemson's defense just played amazing. Khalil Barnes, I mean, I think him and Caleb Down might be the two best freshman safeties right now in the country. I think Khalil Barnes and Caleb Downs are the two best safety freshmen in the country, in my opinion. They're both really good. Just made plays. Clemson defense just annihilated South Carolina up front.
Yeah.
Both sides of the ball, really, but really especially because Clemson was running the ball at will for the most part for the majority of the game. But like I said, defensively, Clemson just dominated up front from start to finish. And the 7 points that South Carolina got, they shouldn't even have got that. It really should have been 16-0.
Yeah.
I mean, Clemson just absolutely dominated in the trenches. It was good to get that get back as Clemson fans. And honestly, man, I know I talked about, we'll talk about this when draft time gets a little closer. I'm not going to lie, man. And I talk about these two guys every week, I feel like. But Nate Wiggins and Avion Terrell, they absolutely shut down Xavier Leggett.
Mm-hmm.
And Avion Terrell's a freshman. And he's playing elite cornerback right now as a freshman. I mean, I don't know about you. He's playing just as good as Nate Wiggins right now. He's a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
Both from Westlake out here in Atlanta. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I think Clemson's in a really good spot as far as defensive young guys. Clemson's gonna be really good, man, going forward. But I kind of just want to get your quick thoughts on the game. On Saturday, how did you feel about that win and getting, kind of getting that get back?
I ain't satisfied, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty.
It wasn't enough for me. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
hold you.
Mm-hmm.
It just was not enough for me. Now don't get me wrong. I'm cool. I'll never be mad about a win.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially not over no South Carolina. Like
Right.
to me, it should be even more embarrassing to them.
Yeah.
That they lost a game where Clemson couldn't do nothing on offense. They should be absolutely embarrassed.
Yeah,
but
that's disgusting.
For me, I'm sick because like I don't think again defensively we played a great game, but offensively, man, I just golly that was just so nasty.
Yeah,
the same type of pass plays. I mean, nobody was really doing much. Tyler Brown had a nice, I believe it was him, had a nice catch deep down the seam.
Yeah, it was.
At one point in the game. But man, tight ends was dropping. I think both of them had a drop. And then or both of the backups. What's my man Sap and then the guy that got two first names.
Olsen Henry. Pat Olsen Henry or something like that.
Yeah, him. Pat Henry, I think it is, or Pat.
Yeah,
something. Yeah. He he had a drop, a crucial drop. I think it was on a second now or something like that. That would have kept us moving. But man, ultimately, man, I'm not impressed. I'm a little worried going into the bowl game because, like you said, well, my dad was talking about this. He said he think they might mess around and give us another a Tennessee Clemson rematch in the bowl game this year. And that's the type of stuff that worries me. It's kind of sad that I'm worried going into a bowl game because I never used to be worried.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But now, we kind of offense is just stalled out. I just have no idea who we playing. And if we play somebody good, I'm not expecting, a whole lot. You know what I mean? But ultimately, again, the game was good. It was a solid win. It was nice to get our lick back from the back, but overall, I mean, it's just offense was just trash, bro.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, man. I was gonna say real quick too. Dang, I was about to say something about Shane Beamer. That's what I was about to say. Shane Beamer too. Like, not trying to be rude. I'm not saying the seat should be getting warm, but to do what you did last year and then turn around and do what you just did just now, you're not even bowl eligible, bro. You 5-7. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying Shane Beamer should be fired, but if he struggles again next year and they go like 4-8, which if you look at their schedule, it's very much possible they could go 4-8 next year. Next year, bro, I want you to hear who they play. They play Georgia, right? They play at Bama. They play at LSU. They play A&M. They play at Clemson. They play Missouri. They play at Kentucky, bro. That them all might be losses. Every single
And
last
they,
one of them. And they play Oklahoma next year.
oh, really?
Yeah, bro. We talking about that's 8 losses I see. I'm not gonna hold you. So we're looking at a situation where Shane Beamer going into year 3. I'm not saying he should be fired. I'm not one of them type people yet on him. But that seat gonna get real warm if he struggles next year. It's gonna start getting warm. Cause that fan base wants to at least get to that 8-win range. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it'll happen, but I don't know, bro. I'm just gonna tell you the truth. If he don't get them to at least 6 next year, that fan base gonna
Oh
start.
yeah. Oh yeah.
That fan base gonna
Yeah.
start getting real high. If they
They
go
gonna
another 5-7 or 4-8, it's gonna get real bad for him real quick, and that honeymoon is gonna be over.
yeah. They gonna
Um,
be sick.
yeah.
I think
So
I
yeah,
think he I think man, he was out there, he was crying after the game too, wasn't he?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he know that seat. Look, yeah, he can feel that seat
yeah.
getting a little warm. That's all it was.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, nah, he
That grace period is about to end with him probably next season.
yeah,
If they struggle
no,
next season, yeah, I don't know if we get year 4 Shane Beamer. If they go like 4-8 next year or 3-9, people start decommitting all over the place, hitting the portal. It might be Jover. I'm not gonna
yeah,
lie. It might
very,
be Jover.
very well could be, man. Very well could be.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. I want to talk about one more thing, and then we're gonna kind of end it out. Couple of head coaching things happening. Mike Elko. Did you see the whole Mark Stoops situation with Mike with A&M? Did you see that going
So
on?
so I saw he they said he was in line to be the next head coach,
Yep.
and that he basically had took the job, but then a couple hours later he was like, I'm staying at Kentucky, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and
So
then
let
Mike
me
Elko
so let me
took
kind
the
of
job the next morning.
give you the breakdown of what I think happened. I think what happened was Mark Stoops was offered the job at A&M.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Yeah, I'm gonna take it." When the boosters seen that outrage, because I don't know if you've seen it on Twitter, the players was going crazy on them. The fans was going crazy. They were saying, "We hate the hire. This is horrible." Yada 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 yada
The
yada.
player said that too.
Yes, players were saying, "Keep the coach we got," and stuff like that. I think his name is Coach E, and it was bad, bro. And I think what happened was the boosters, and also as well, I think he seen that and was like, I don't want no parts of this. I'm not gonna go somewhere I'm not wanted, which I don't blame him.
Yeah, I'm about to say shit.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
I ain't mad at you at
That
all.
fan base is already tough. You want to talk about a
Right.
cult? That's a, let me talk about that real quick. This Texas A&M fan base, that is a true cult. Like, you want to talk about a cult? That fan base is weird. I'm not gonna hold you. But yeah, I mean, truly and honestly, he's seen that, and I think he was like, "I'm good on it," and I think the boosters was like, "Yeah, we good on it as well because
Mm.
we're getting blasted." Elko,
That's
he already has familiarity with Texas A&M because he was just there
right.
2 years ago. So yeah, go ahead though.
No. I was just gonna say that's the same what's it called? That's the same fan base that they did that thing overnight. Remember that one time they was in the dang, where was they at? They was on the field, bruh. They was on one of the fields and they was singing some song or something. It was some kind of ritual. You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking about?
A&M
Yeah.
is a cult, bro. I don't
And they
care what
got
nobody
caught.
say.
Yeah, they got caught doing that. I forgot what it was that for football or was that
No,
basketball?
that was football. That was
Yeah, that's what I
football.
thought. Yeah.
Yeah, Texas A&M. That fan base is an absolute cult. You can't
Man.
tell me no different. That is a cult.
And
That fan
Stoops
base is a
shouldn't
cult.
and Stoops shouldn't go. I mean, at Kentucky, you gonna have a longer leash, bro.
Yeah,
A
exactly.
much
And
longer
that's why
leash.
he was like, I'll stay
Yeah,
here, get my
man.
7 to 8 wins, and be good.
Yeah, that's going to Texas A&M. They probably was gonna throw him a bag, but nah, man, that's no way, bro. No way in the world. And I just wonder if he sent his team a message and was like, "Hey, man, I'm I'm taking this job at Texas A&M," and then hours later he had to come back and say, "You know what? Never mind, y'all. I'm deciding to." I wonder how that played out. But you called Mike Elko months ago. You
months,
said Mike Elko was
months,
gonna take that job in
months ago.
A&M.
And I kind of feel bad for Duke because, like, where do they go from this point? Like, don't nobody want that job no more. Like,
Mm-mm.
I mean, the only reason it was attractive because of what Elko has done. So now Duke is in a real bad situation.
Now
Um,
I seen they got one of the top 10 quarterbacks though. Is that 2025
that's
or 2020
2024. That's this year coming up.
2024?
He's going to A&M. You would think
Oh,
he's
yeah,
gonna
he gonna
follow. Yeah,
that he
I think
gonna
I could be wrong, but I think he would follow um
Elko.
Elko. Yeah, in my opinion. Once again, I could be wrong, but I think he would probably end up, following Elko. And same with Lincoln Riley Leonard. He's probably gonna end up following because there was already rumors that he was leaving anyway. So I think he's gonna end up
He not
following.
going to the NFL?
No, I don't think so because of the injury stuff that he had towards the end of the season. So he's probably just gonna come back.
Mm,
So that's kind of how I feel about that. And yeah, I mean that's just really where I'm at with it at this point. And then also as well, Syracuse has hired a new football coach.
yeah,
So that was good to see. I just seen that earlier. They have a new football coach in Fran Brown, who's actually the DB coach at UGA. He is now going to be the coach at Syracuse, African American man. So
yep,
I ain't gonna lie, we love to see it going from
yep.
black coach to black coach in college football. I love that. I'm not gonna lie. And this guy's a really good coach as far as like recruiting too. Now he's from New Jersey, so he kind of knows that New York, New Jersey,
Oh, okay.
Pennsylvania area, which is why they hired him.
Yeah.
But I think this is a good hire for Syracuse. I love the hire. He's a young guy. He knows the area. That's not really a desirable job, honestly.
No.
Um, so yeah, I think it's a good get for them, honestly.
And I hope he get, a shot too, like a
Yeah,
long,
absolutely.
a good amount of time. Because Dino Babers got a good amount of time.
Yeah,
He
he
was there
did. Oh
about
yeah,
what, four?
absolutely. Yeah.
He was there 4, 5 years.
Dino might have been there longer than that, bro.
Yeah,
Dino
he
been
was there for. That's why I said he was there for a minute.
Yeah,
Um,
Dino was
I
there
was
for a
sur-
while,
I
bro.
was kind of shocked that they got rid of him because I'm not saying they had a good year or nothing like that, but I just didn't know that.
I mean, that's just a hard job to win at, bro. Like it's
Yeah,
freaking Syracuse. Like nobody really wants to go there.
they
Like
ain't been
let's
good
just
since
be real.
Ernie Davis, right? And Jim
Yeah,
Brown.
it's been a while. So he had been there since 2016. So he had been there a minute.
Oh, he been there for a minute.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
been there a while. I was still in college when he was there.
yeah,
So
me too. He
he
been there
done
eight
been there a
years.
minute.
Shoot.
Um, yeah, so he got plenty of enough a leash. And like I said, Syracuse is not the most attractive job in the world
No,
anyway. It's actually one of the worst ones in the Power Five because it's literally the most isolated job from any
in the
like
ACC.
recruits. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely in the ACC the most isolated, but from recruits too, ain't really that many recruits in North New York. Like, ain't that many recruits in West New
Yeah,
York.
it's
So
true.
I really hope this guy can really get things going for Syracuse. I like the hire of Fran Brown, and I think he's going to be a really good coach, man. So hopefully that works out for them.
Yeah.
I know there was also some news about the OC at Colorado too was possibly taking a job at San Diego State. Sean Lewis, he did a really good
Okay.
job at Colorado. I really didn't understand why Dion pulled him from calling plays because that was the only thing they literally had going for themselves.
He
And then
did,
it's like when he did that, the team started declining when Sean Lewis stopped calling plays. So he's probably going to San Diego State. So good for him. So yeah, a lot going on, man, in sports right now. The transfer portal is going ballistic. I'm not even gonna jump into all the names. It's too
bro.
much.
You seen I mean Colorado lost a lot of guys, but I was gonna say
Colorado
I
is
heard
getting
Bobby
they're getting
Petrino
dug
going back
out
to
right now.
Arkansas.
Yeah, I seen that about Bobby Petrino going to Arkansas as an OC. That's really interesting, especially after the way he did that program at that university. I'm surprised they're gonna let him come back.
What do you do?
Oh, you
I
don't know
can't
about the
remember.
situation with okay. So with Bobby Petrino, there was some type of situation with a car wreck or something, or he came in like a neck brace.
The neck brace.
Yeah,
Okay.
and long story short, I think he was just kind of wanting out of Arkansas, and I think he actually ended up taking the Falcons job right after that,
He
just to
did.
kind of get out of the Arkansas job. I could be wrong because this was 10, 15 years ago. So I could absolutely see where you're coming from with that.
Oh, I done lost T. I think he was only with the Falcons for like a year though, right? Dang, we done lost T, y'all. Anyway, yeah, Mike, or not Mike, Bobby Petrino though, he done took the job with Arkansas. Um, he went back there, so he used to be their head coach, but now he's their offensive coordinator. And so T was just about to tell me what had happened, um, with that man. But ultimately, I thought that was a interesting decision because, for me personally, I don't know how you was a head coach somewhere and you come back later. It's almost like being a manager at a job, leaving the job, and then coming back and you no longer the manager at the job. Like
Yeah,
to me, that just sounds so. You know what I'm saying? To me, that just sounds so weird.
yeah.
Um, but hey, it is what it is. Who's their head coach right now? You know
Sam Pittman.
who?
Sam Pittman.
Yeah. So, um, I just that's gonna be interesting, man. That's gonna be interesting for sure.
Yeah.
Could you hear me that whole time while you was
Yeah,
gone?
my computer just cut off out of nowhere randomly. So sorry about that. I don't know if y'all heard me, but I was like, "Yo, what in the world?"
No,
Um,
we could. It was a black screen with a little circle, but I tried to keep it going. So go ahead. You were saying what though?
yeah, but yeah, I was just saying, yeah, he took the job to go to Atlanta, the Falcons. So it was just a mess, and it was just a lot of back and forth and a lot of bad energy between Arkansas and Petrino. So I'm kind of surprised that they possibly letting him back in. If that happens, yeah, that's just crazy to me. But I mean, they're saying it's a possibility, so we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but just a lot going on in sports right now, man. It's crazy.
Somebody.
Yeah,
I meant to ask you this too, real quick before
yeah,
we
you good?
roll.
Go ahead.
Um. So transfer portal.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
that Hayes Fawcett guy, the on
Hmm.
three or whatever,
Yeah.
he
Hmm.
basically came out and said notable name is set to announce his plans to enter the transfer portal here soon.
Mm.
I don't know who. A lot
Was
of people
was
saying
this today? He tweeted this out.
this was 3 minutes ago, 4 minutes ago.
Ooh. Okay.
A lot of people are saying ETN to Clemson. A lot of people are saying Cam Ward is transferring. Those are the two names I'm hearing.
So let me
Now,
let me. I'm not supposed to be saying this on
don't
camera.
say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't
Okay.
say it. We good.
Okay.
We good. You know what I'm saying? We good. We ain't got to say it, but it's just interesting to see
Well,
who.
I'll say it real quick. It's not nothing crazy. I will say this, and I'll leave it at this. And this is Tony breaking this news here. Trevor Etienne, allegedly had a meeting with Florida coaches today. So take what you
Mm,
want from that. Take what you want from that. I'll say it. I heard from a good source that I trust that has told me a lot of stuff and has been correct about that. Travis Etienne met with, I keep saying Travis, Trevor Etienne met with Florida coaching staff today, and pretty much today was going to be the deciding day of, A, am I leaving? A, am I staying? Again, take what you want from that information. Now,
what's
I'll just go ahead and say this too. I don't know if Clemson's going to be the only school in this race.
okay?
Now, I think this would be the one time that Clemson would break the whole we ain't. I got so much news. I have to tell you after we get off here because
Okay.
when I get to really explain it, you'll understand. But all I'm gonna say is I think the name could very well be Trevor Etienne. That's all. I
Okay.
don't know if it's. I don't know. I'm not saying that this is accurate 100%. But from the person I talked to today, he told me, watch out for Trevor Etienne and left it at that. He said Trevor Etienne is meeting with the coaches today to pretty much find out is he out or is he not. I don't know if you watch Travis, his brothers. I don't know if you watch Travis's Twitters during the game, but he talks about how his brother's not getting enough touches.
Right.
He said that several times. Again, I'm not saying Clemson is the. I would watch out for Georgia, honestly, as well.
Yeah.
From what I've heard. Once again, I can't not go into detail a lot, but all I can say is watch out for Will Shipley news soon, and see if something happens with Shipley, then you gonna know something. That's all I'll say. If something happens with Will Shipley in the next 24 to 48 hours, you gonna know something. Pretty much is what I'm trying to tell you. You didn't hear it here though. But if something happens with Shipley, if we see Shipley either go into the league or hit the portal, you gonna know something. That's all I'll say.
Heard you on that. Heard you,
So
man.
I'm really looking forward to this Hayes Fawcett because
Yeah,
I'm
I'm trying
looking
to
at it
see.
now, and
I'm sitting here refreshing.
I wonder is it Cam Ward too? That's another guy I'm wondering. Is it?
That's what a lot of people are saying.
It's. I mean, the college football has pretty much just became the NFL at this point. This is free agency, guys. This is what it is. Like at this point, this is what I think everybody should do. Bro, start doing this just like how you do the NFL. Hey, Cam Ward just signed a 2-year deal to the Ohio State Buckeyes for this amount of money. Start doing that. Bro.
Yeah, yeah.
At this point, just stop it. Like, stop doing this every year at the end of the year. We're going to try to figure it out. No, bro. Go ahead when the season ends. Go ahead and say Cam Ward is getting released from. Let's just make it the NFL. Let's stop doing all this bull crap and this tampering. Let's just get right into it. And I said this back when NIL first became like a thing back in 2020, 2021 time. I said, bro, it should just be straight up like this. Trevor Lawrence just receives a $16 million 2-year deal with the Clemson Tigers. He has to stay here for 2 years. Let's just start doing that, bro. Let's stop it. Let's stop doing that. Sign these deals and let's just do it like contracts. Like in the NFL, it can still be NIL, but just go ahead and say, hey, Trevor Etienne has signed a 1-year deal for $4 million with the Clemson Tigers. Right. Let's just do it. Let's stop doing this BS, bro. Let's just cut to the chase and start cutting these checks like the NFL and start reporting it like the NFL. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at with it at this point. And I think we're going to get to that point.
Is he about to be a junior?
Huh?
He's a junior, right? He's about to be a junior next year.
Trevor Etienne, yes. He'll be a junior next year. Yep.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah. Shoot. Well, yeah, I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to see your thoughts, see who you thought it might be. But a lot of people are saying Ward or Etienne.
I think it could be either one of those. It might be both. We might see a couple big names. We've already seen a few big names go to the portal. Raleigh Brown was a 5-star recruit just a year ago. He's in the portal from USC. We've already seen some big names in the portal already. Chris Tyree, he was at Notre Dame as a wide receiver. He's in the portal. So we're already seeing him. And this is literally free agency, bro. This is what this has became. Yeah. This is what it is. I really just wish they would start saying, hey, so-and-so just signed a 2-year deal with Alabama. Hey, this person just signed a 1-year deal with Clemson. Hey, this person, just start doing it like that because that's what's happening.
I always think it's funny how I wonder if it's because of classes and stuff. Yeah. But I always think it's funny how as soon as the season ends, like the regular season, is when these people, because it's not even when the bowl season ends. Yeah. It's when the regular season ends that they come out and you know what, I'm out of here. So I wonder if they have to put that in a certain amount of time or something. Because I guess bowl season.
Well, they do because they have a window, right? So they have the technical. You cannot technically sign to a team, I guess. If I'm understanding this correctly, somebody in the comments can help me. But I think what happens is on December, next Monday, the portal will be officially open to where you can act. So next, the 4th, December the 4th, you will be able to be in the portal and sign somewhere. So what I'm thinking is happening is with these guys that are entering the portal now, guess what, brother? They already know where they're going. These guys that are in the portal have already been talking to schools for 6 months now, probably 2 or 3 months now. They already know where they're going. So what is happening is with these portal guys, they have to get in the portal. It's only a 45-day window. And then I think it's another 15-day window in the spring. So this window right here is the big one because a lot of colleges are signing their high school kids right now. And I feel
Right.
horrible for high school kids. They're getting absolutely screwed. If you're like a 3-star now, like a low 3-star, you might as well go to a D2 because you're not going to get any love. And it
Yeah.
sucks. It really does suck because back when I was coming up, I hate to sound like an old man. I'm really not even 30 yet. But back when I was coming up, 3-star recruit, low 3-star recruit, you was at least getting the Tulsas, the ECUs of the world, Memphis. I mean, nowadays these guys can just go to the portal and say we don't need these high school kids. So these high school kids are getting screwed royally in this situation. If you're like not a 4-star, high 3-star, or a 5-star, you're kind of cooked. I'm gonna be honest with you. You're in a terrible position. Or you're gonna be in D2, honestly.
Jeez.
It's bad, bro. I feel bad for them kids, though, man. Them high school kids is getting done wrong. I'm not gonna hold you, but that's just what it is. So we'll pay attention to that. We'll go ahead and shut it down, man. Another really great episode again, man. Cam, as always, appreciate you, brother. Is there anything you want to say to end out the night, man?
Nah, not really, man. Thank you to everybody who's been watching and keeping up with us. I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving and everything. We'll be back here next week, and we just gonna keep it rolling.
Yes, sir. That's right, man. Yeah, next week we'll be back again, man. Thank y'all for rocking out with us tonight. Another really good episode, and we'll holler at y'all next week to talk about some of these college championships, these college football playoffs. It's gonna be an interesting week next week, man. So y'all tune in. Peace, love, and happiness to y'all. Y'all have a good one.